Hello everyone, my name is Khuong. It's my pleasure to be here with you today to presentation about the introduction of managing organizational change. We are from Group 2 with 7 members. The purpose of this talk is to give you the background of managing organizational change that's useful for individuals to apply it in study or work in the future. If you have any question, please ask me at the end of our talk. As you can see on the screen, there are 3 parts we would like to talk about today. Firstly, we will begin with reflective practice. Secondly, we focus on how to improve your critical thinking and reflective skills. Finally, we cover learning from experience through reflection. So, we will start with what is reflective and reflexive writing. So, in your opinion, what we learn about meaning of writing in the high school or university? Let me explain for you. In the first graph, reflections, writing is an expressive and explorative process in and of itself. It's much more than a simply reporting device. The only thing that matters is the content, not the language or any other rules. Writers are their own initial readers. No one else will read it unless they agree. In fact, every piece of writing is correct since it's an examination of the writer's own labor, knowledge, memories, and so on. In reality, right and wrong are irrelevant here. If writing is skipped, redrafting and editing are prioritized too early, or reader awareness is permitted, the result is likely to be unreflective or, if not, unerasive. Also, the key point follows the writer's thoughts in any direction and may write anything insightful, enlightening, humorous, insane, awful, or even hazardous. Occasionally uninteresting and sometimes completely irrelevant to reflective practice. The second method is suspend your disbelief. Might we not say that every child at play behaves like a creative writer, in that he creates a world of his own, or rather rearranges the things of his world in a new way which pleases him. Indeed, you are always satisfied with the manner you perform everything you write, no matter how or what you write. How to start the 5 stages. At the beginning, we start with the first stage, the 6-minute write. Your writing is a personal gift to yourself. Choose a comfortable, undisturbed location and time, as well as writing supplies that you enjoy. Check that you have everything else you need. No one's going to read this later on, so don't worry about it. So can writing anything. 6 minutes writing. First, write whatever is in your head, uncensored and without stopping for at least 6 minutes. Don't stop to think or be critical, even if it seems rubbish. Then allow it to flow with no thoughts for spelling, grammar, proper form. Give yourself permission to write anything. You needn't reread. And whatever you write is right. It's yours and no one else needs read it. In addition, 6 minutes of writing can yield both gold and rubbish. It can avert the question, what am I going to write? by unloading mental junk onto paper. Anything else than the writing can obstruct the flow and allow the writing to take its own path and save the writing guidelines to fall later. To continue, I want to go through stage 2, the incident narrative story. As you can see that writing immediately following 6 minutes is likely to be significant. Choose the first event which comes to mind and write as many details as possible. Recreate the situation as a memory forward with as much detail as possible, instead of what you wish had happened, or worry about getting the facts right. This can relieve embarrassment, confidentiality, anxiety, fear of getting it wrong. If there are any infelicities, repetitions, or ambiguities, these can be corrected afterwards. As you replay the experience, important elements emerge. Even if you believe you hadn't remembered them, a number of autobiographical articles, stories with fictitious plots, poems, and plays were created suitable for phase 2, like changes, a conflict, taking care, or celebration, and so on. It is worth remembering that when you want to create a possible story, name the title in your way to have it have more power over you. For example, this story.
Now we turn to stage 3, read and respond to illustrate. Rereading the articles for yourselves is very important, so you should read with the attention, yet openly and without the rituals. Focus on the contents than the form. Read everything, include the 6 minutes, slowly after the first dash is written. Adding and modifies as needed, but only being the positive about thinking. Besides that, some questions must be answered in the writing, such as what is significant about it for you? How does the account relate to the theories? And does your action fit your theory or values? Based on the suggestions of Edward, human thinking comes from the six perspective regarding the color, like the alternative, speculative, creative, so in the green, or summarizing overviews, acting as control in the blue, and more color I would put on the picture on the slide. The article a look from the past that communicate with the nurse today is a good example how to write the phrase trees. The point of the article is identifies the positive in the story about event and to see how it may help the Caroline in her current employment. Reader can accomplish the same thing by adding certain sections to the text language, enhance attitudes in the passage. Rewrite as active, I did, rather than the passive, this would come to me, and use the positive instead the negative. Now, let's move to step 4, sharing and writing with the peers. If you are only going to remember one thing, you should be the peers' response may open up new opportunities for you. They can have raised the detection level and see bigger in situational, national, social, and political contexts. So, finding the perfect person or person with whom to discuss your writing is might be benefits. And the students should be fortunate to have their choice a group or partner supervised by a tutor. I'm going to let you in on a secret that the solution is for the group is create their route and in a safe enough environment with the strict line limit. Reading in a group might give you the confidence to look at difficult experience honestly. Now, move to the last stage is stage 5, developing writing. Take a look this poem of Claire's. These techniques make a channel in the sand with a stick. Water comes right up from the earth immediately, sometimes faster than others, like discovery rather than the creation. Thus, the concept theories are instant, may grow and take form under our swivel finger. Claim advice that she referred discovery rather than the creativity. So Clay feel that the creative writing is also effective technique to communicate to the readers about the current finding. It's about the identifying a slapstick capable of the parsing on the sand of daily practicals and entering the pursuit of what we have learned. You just need um, you just need to stay for more and more some suggestion that write about some the same event right from the perspective of the omniscient narrators. Rewrite the story, write a commentary, what is missing out of the story, as what if and as why. Um, and his mod here what are most important about this for you. In developing a five state, there is no particular way of doing it. They might to be undertaken in many different ways and others. The following is for example way from the author is such at least and send letters dialogue to develop aspect of ourselves, internal mental and internal saboteurs. The first one, let's have been you make your choice and then test your skill reverse and counts. The more confident you will be in the game and more your ability will be strengthened. With the unsung letters, such as writing, can bring the experience outside to the writer, and so rereading may seem like hearing external communication. Third, dialogue to develop aspects of ourselves. It can allow us to consistently draw on strongly elements of ourselves and find strategies for dealing with the inhibition and negativity. Writing in this way can help you listen properly. Internal mentors. In this way, we can get the guidance from the helpful support from our mentor. This will be help you reflect strongly, tapping into our own trusted intelligence, are often overlooked and even unattended. And the last but not least, internal saboteurs. The are the fictional use of the fiction to help the professional stay out of the life on reflect. Now, let's turn to the last part, that is the writer blocks. We should follow the rules to deal with this challenge. The first one is this discipline before you are experiences. You can do it and you will get there justice and right. The second is the time management. You should complete the article in the shortest time to avoid worrying and about yourself. The third, understand the writer self. On the writer have an inner saboteur waiting to destroy the confidence and authority. They also have a plot they can activate on their computer to stop their accessing to the internet and wasting time. Next, you need to do more exercise. And the last one is the time and place. Experience is another way. For example, in different way and time as long as it's suitable for you. Okay, that's the end of at that the end the first 10 minutes of reading of my talk.
My name is Khuong. I will continue with the next part of our group presentation, which is called How to Critical Thinking and Reflective Skills. As you can see that personal concepts are difficult to communicate into words and demand the usage of particular sorts of languages. This seminar is divided into three sections, including key aspects of reflecting writing, which discuss the critical distinction between
reflective writing, and other types of academic writing. Then language styles for a broad reflective report, which different sorts of reflective process need distinct writing styles. Finally, writing approaches for specialized reflective tasks, which writing style may be used for certain reflective tasks. In the first section, there are 5 keys that point out the difference between reflective writing with other forms of academic writing. First of all, the writing style has personal emphasis while others are being detached. Next, it's a part of thinking process instead of the outcome process as other writing. At other forms, besides, the content of reflective writing is dependent on writer rather than the title given by lecturer. Moreover, the inner structure of reflective writing does not follow traditional style like introduction, main body, conclusion. It uses specific headings. To finish up, instead of word process essays, reflective reports may be created using specialized web media. Hence, the authors noted that a typical error is to rely on the safe option without providing an interpretation or judgment of it. Moving on to the second section, which is language styles for a broad reflective report. In this section, there are 6 subdivisions that provide a style of writing required in each component of a piece of reflective writing. Looking at description, which means accuracy and relevance are required. And for example, it was noted that accused was novice. And there are 2 questions. These questions to ask yourself to prompt effective reflection. In certain cases, the prompt may apply to other areas as well. This will depend on specific of your assignment and direction supply. Use the latter as your initial point of reference at all times. About feelings, personal responses, opinions, emotions, and sensations should be involved in writing. And the language should be used the first person like an example here. I consider first part of meeting went well because next is evaluation. Balance is essential. There are 2 options for presentation. Present each element separately and discuss positive and negative aspects together. Group together the positive and negative aspects relating to your reflection. For example, when client said he didn't like any of my initial drawings, I was very disappointed and didn't know how to create. Besides, analysis connect events before, during, and after the episode to theory and to provide sources pertaining to the theory. For instance, there are the only 4 members of our team, so it was initially difficult to see how the 19 personality of B might apply. And furthermore, it is important to summarize the arm of content or context of the writing, and the languages are written in the conventional academic format. Finally is action plan. The goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. In short, according to MC Milan, reflective methods can be used in specific online media to make your reflection clear. Some online platforms can be named learning journal, blog, sketchbook, portfolio or e-portfolio, and PDP. The advantage of online formats is that they allow you to link the websites, files, and incorporate image that should follow referencing without violating copyright law. However, there should not be too many links in the article because it distracts the reader from your message and creates plagiarism problems. Do not use the copyright image or material on the weblog. When using these tools, we need to control file size. It depends on how long we write. We use the suitable tool. We start with learning journal. Normally, it's entered directly into the notebook or Word. Type documents such as an MS Word or PDF. It focuses on the development of professional skill. Next, blogs are common platform. It's easy to use and friendly. It contains image, videos, and links to other websites. Blogging is a good source of material for reflection. Thirdly, sketchbook is suitable for any work related to raw, can be used to note your thoughts. Writing annotations can help you keep your work different from others. Then portfolio or e-portfolio. Blackboard is well known as e-portfolio. The reflective element in BB is course specific material, course handbook, and task construction. Lastly, personal development DPD, short and on-point writing, kind of long-term e-portfolio. There are some practical tips for reflective writing may help you. First of all, have enough vocabulary to express your thoughts and expressions. Secondly, ask yourself questions whenever you stuck for material. And finally, always reread your text. In conclusion, this is a step-by-step guide for reflection writing to help students learn effectively in this time of year and improve their performance. Confidence is the key to put thoughts into words. Following the above questions can help your brain pop up unexpected thoughts and new ideas for writing.
Hello everyone, my name is Khuong and I'm going to talk about learning from experience through reflection. As you can see that the markets have changed every day and unpredictable. The manager no longer could predict and prepare for the long-term plan. Instead, they use their experience to imagine some scenario that could happen in the future and have the plan for it. Based on it, we turn to the process that have the deep roots at the ancient Greek philosopher, the process of reflection. What is reflection? Reflective practices is the ability to reflect on one action so as to engage in the process of continuous learning. The thing is, in a simple way, is that you see someone action, you think about it, you analyze it, and you learn from it. It's the familiar process appear in many ways of life, in school, in business, or in the daily life. For example, when you have the problem, you talk to your parents, your friends to see what they're gonna do, and then you think about their action and find out the solution for it. Although it's so natural and familiar, but while the organization find it hard to apply the reflective practices to encourage learning. This is because the manager find the action more value than the reflection. Moreover, the Roosevelt Counter, a business professor, identified that the short-term managerial incentive and demand are forces working against the manager ability to pause and reflect. It means that They have to work continuously due to the demand of the boss, and they don't have the ability to stop and a little bit, just a brief time to think about what they do. But they still have evidence that the reflection has become a part of the success of the organization. Company allow every worker to have the short time to reflect important aspects such as the customer need or find out the reason of the problem. Thanks to that improvement in this process, the company could gain more profit and improve the satisfaction of the employee. Secondly, the trend will let employee and owner for corporate performance led to the examination of method of plan and evaluating individual performance. Moreover, the evaluation and planning is also represent two important conditions of learning from experience. Learn from the past and apply it to the future. And thirdly, when managers use quality improvement tool and let the owner to join in decision making, they will have more chance to be more active in reflection. Although the reflection has been the important part of traditional education from the ancient time, but it's just famous for being a tool in managerial learning. Exxon, Motorola, General Motors, and Packard are just a few of the companies that just using the system called Action Reflection Learning (ARL) to explore and find the answer to an important business problem. What is the ARL? It's the practice which help one to become a better learner through reflection, assumption testing, and question asking by solving the real business problem. So what is the nature of reflection? Reflection is the highly personal cognitive process. It's mean he or she think about the action, bring it into your mind, analyze it, and combine with another experience, and then turn that to he or she bias. And reflection is often spontaneous. It means that the outside the individual awareness and is unplanned.
So now I will talk about the stages in the reflection process. Based on the case checking for answers, there are 4 distinct stages of reflection. So I will explain specifically about 4 steps. And the first step in the reflection process called articulation of a problem and identify the problems, which means that the mind needs to deal with in the reflection process. And this will give the managers a valuable insight into ourselves. In the case study of show the product that he and Mr. Hatter have to access fairly does not exist, and he solved the problem by eliminating the possibilities and basing it on a negative situation. So next we move to the second stage. It calls analyzing the issue, which is stated by the quid that the action of researching the material can solve the job to dispose of the velocity, and in this stage people have to ready to grasp the elusive, but it still have the ability to penetrate the consciousness. Similar to Cho, he tried to find the important clues and treatments. So, but thanks to the treatment of Sally, which helped him make the decisions. And moreover, the third step called formulation and testing of the tentative theory to explain the problems. To complete the mission well, Cho fully analyzed and presented Hatter's strength and weakness clearly. Last but not least, ideation or deciding whether to act, which is the final step of the process. This is considered as the step where the true learning appears. As the case of Charles, he failed to carry out his lesson, so he had to stop at this stage, at stage 3. Now we move to the power of questions. Questions play an important role in the reflection. Like throwing up the questions is a way to increase the learning ability of the reflection. The school system utilizes as a tool for learning reflection that have stimulate classroom debates or seminar. In addition, some people like counselor, therapists, and the good manager in the human resources industries also apply this method in their field, which can increase the productivity of their jobs. In the problems solving process include the question types such as what, why, how, and these questions are really helpful in the process of understanding the problem and we find a solution to solve or the challenge to be solved. Questioning is one of the most fundamental and powerful elements of the reflective experience that is used in the process of learning from challenging work situations in 3 ways. The first is opening up possibilities, and the second is clarify the meaning and structures the reflection through 4 stages. Next, we move to the next part called along or with others. Everyone have a different way on reflection, such as, for example, the case study of Trout. He is a type of introvert persons who are always self-thinking to find the good solution to solve his problems. And while the extrovert persons will need the idea from the people outside, from those who around them, such as family, peers, friends, like us, and so on. Moreover, in the case of reflection alone, people who feel comfort when using tool, writing can be a powerful means of generating insight during the reflection. By contrast, the reflection with the other who surrounding, such as our family, managers, and friends, so on. Therefore, the person will take on the role of helping discuss together, give the advice to each other to find the best way to solve the problem. Not only that, they can learn each other experience. Additionally, when the reflection takes place in a small group, members can contribute the different ideas to provide important information about themselves, and hence, whether conducted alone or with other, reflection will occur in learning the results. If the 4-stage process of problem solving, problem analysis, theories, building, and action plans.
Have you ever asked yourself which is the most effective reflective way, alone with helper or in a small group, will help the manager enhance their learning through the challenging work experience? This research study will answer this question. The participants of the research study are 48 managers from different disciplines of the Fortune 500 corporation. And the research study took place in the corporate classroom for the retreat and the special meeting of the company. Both locations have many small breakout rooms combined with the equipped classroom, put near the field and good, and bring the relaxed atmosphere to encourage the reflective activity. The participants were randomly divided into four main groups: the individual, helper, peer, or control. And at the beginning, they were asked to select the challenging work experience, which fit one of the 5 types of experience. First is the building something from nothing. Secondly is fixing or stabilizing a falling operation. Third is leading a project assignment. Fourth is the managing a significant increase in people dollar, and the last is moving from the line to the corporate role. The participant will spend the next 1 hour to reflect on that situation, and we also provide a detailed guideline for the effective reflection. After receive the general information, the participant will move to the training center by themselves, in pair or with group. At the conclusion of the 1 hour reflection, each participant will complete the questionnaire. The questionnaire was designed to collect the information about the effect of moderator variable, type, length, importance, the positive or negative nature of the experience, and it also asked the participant to record the insight or lesson that occurred as the result of the process. They were directed to use any note that they had taken during the reflection process to help with this task. Also, the questionnaire asks for the response on the challenging experience they select, the learning statement they record, and the reflection process itself. And it turns to the result is that both the individual and the helper group have the statistically significant greater number of learning than the control group. However, the peer group is not. First, it's because the members of the small group tend to search for similarity among the experiences, placing less emphasis than the older group on learning that was unique to themselves. Second, the need to discuss the several different subject experience discourage the group from detailed probing that may have elicited more learning. Third, none of the participants in the 3 separate small groups followed the instruction to take note or to use the reflection question in their discussion. And also, this finding reinforced the need to use the reflection question and to capture the learning throughout the reflection experience. And after analyzing the learning statement of all 3 treatment groups, there are many different types of learning recorded. The individual and helper group record mostly interpersonal learning or learning about themselves. The peer group participants record mostly interpersonal learning and contextual learning. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, don't be hesitant to ask us.